Cross check the facts.
Cross check
Okay.
you.
We'll take it later.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next one.
The main is Hindu religion is main, and then are Islam, and then are
Okay, if you just ask
you
me
can
that,
check
We
and
are
then talk.
talking about the percentage of
most followed.
Yeah.
okay, if you're just asking me to debate on the Islamic culture and Indian culture, I would prefer Indian culture, obviously. But I'm talking about Western and progressiveness about
No.
Western culture.
I am countering your point.
Okay, what is your point?
My point I am already asked you. You know, you say that you say. First is Western culture. Sorry, is Christianity and Islam and Hindu culture is not religion. First is Hindu religion, and then Islam religion, and then Christian. That's point. I'm counter your point.
but
You
we
that
are
say.
talking about the
As you
culture.
said,
Yeah, as you
Okay, you're
this
telling the
say.
number of people
Yeah,
following those religions.
yeah.
as he said, they are adapting their like our cultural also. We
Yeah.
also adapt your language. We also adapting people, as you see.
And you
Because
also
we have a
adapted
feeling
our
for the
language.
brothers. We are also a feeling for the sister, mother. But I don't think so. This happens in the Western culture because their culture they are the open body language for the citizen. For in Indian, everyone wear the proper dress attire, but nowadays the generation, according to generation, they are wearing the Western cultural dresses. But it's happened. Same thing.
Yes.
It's happened also in your Western culture also.
Western
Basically,
culture is more adaptive, like it is more open. We feel comfortable in that. Like in gender equality, if we want to go on the work, we cannot wear the sari. We don't have that much time in this generation. And about you said the openness of the clothes is I'm fully clothed, and if I wear the sari, there is no openness in the clothes.
yeah, but basically it has some advantages and disadvantages. But as you said that I'm not blaming the victim. Uh, Sometimes uh, the reason is the situation, and also I want to say that people who are blaming that the girl is responsible for that situation or for that case or any other thing. So I want to say I want to give an example. If like there is a sorry,
Please
uh,
take your time.
so basically I don't know if you understand or if you will get understand or not. So I want to give the example. If you got it's a basic example. If you got the lollipop from the shop, so like if that lollipop is get wrapped and you place it on any other on any place in your house, so it will be wrapped and there will be no any there will be uh, no any house flies will roam around them. So if you unwrap the lollipop and place it at anywhere, so then there will be the house flies who is roaming around that lollipop.
This
So
is
Okay.
I don't think you can
amongst all
understand
the
about that.
amongst all the worst example I've ever heard. This is the worst analogy I could
But
hear.
it's the reason, and
Okay. Let me clear my point. First of all, you should not compare living things with non-living things.
Actually,
We
that's
human have feeling that lollipop thing is different. Sorry to say, but this example is not at all connected to this. If
but
like you are saying,
you see.
victims are like you are just pointing out the victims. You are like if we are dressing in a vulgar way, so we are asking for it.
but
Like
the things
do
are happening.
women say that if I am wearing these blurry clothes, they do it for attention? You say, but in Western culture, you will see that women wear whatever they want. That people won't even stare. Even if you go to some big cities, like if you go to London and all, you wear whatever you want. A
But the things are
single,
happening at
not
there
a
also.
single man would stare at her.
But the things are also
Actually,
happening
my
here.
point is like first you were wrong about first you were only wrong about victim blaming, but now also you are wrong about objectification. Like you are like what you did.
Objectifying it.
You are just simply saying that woman is sweet and everybody would want
But
would just
I
want.
think
I'll just be just I'll just
but I
unfilter
think
myself
the
and
Indian
just tell
attire
you.
is most safe and everyone should wear that to sorry, everyone should wear that instead of the Western attire.
This doesn't matter, as he mentioned, the Muslims.
Yeah, they cover themselves, still get
Hmm.
raped.
Still they get it.
Okay, let's move on to the next point. Western culture is like very much adaptive. They give chances to people. Even some Indian, like you will see Indian Indian people as CEOs of different brands. Like we have Indian CEO of Microsoft and other. So is that why do people go there and why don't they contribute to India? Because of that culturism and casteism, whatever India is doing.
Because India, what does it? Because what Western culture does is it is acceptive to other
Acceptive to
to other
all the
people.
people. Exactly.
Yeah. Like for example, if some Western or any other person comes to India and tries to run for elections, what will you say? Like he is not Indian, so he should not be allowed to do Indians. Like Indians should be only allowed, but our Indian people become prime minister in other countries, and we are like being hypocrite about it.
So there are the rules which are made by the government.
Yeah, so
Or
that's the rule. But I'm saying like I'm talking about mentality of people. Like they are not really like how many Indian companies do have foreigner CEOs? The only example I know is of Ratan Tata's
but they
company
are
was
making
once run by.
business. But they are making business in India while staying at in their country also, like the Starbucks or sorry, like McDonald's or
McDonald's.
That's
Domino's.
the
They
advantage
are
actually.
they are placing their business in India and making it run and do it in a large scale. So like our Indian culture is a diversified culture. So also we have the festivals like as I said recently we have the Kumbh Mela.
Yeah.
So from foreign or from other countries, the people visited at that place to recognize that what is the thing like this Kumbh Mela or
Not only Kumbh Mela, for all festive
they are
season.
visiting India for knowing the
Like
culture of India,
Navratri.
knowing the
We have a
spirituality.
number of festivals.
Yeah,
They also don't even have the festival to celebrate.
uncountable festival in India.
We have the
In
festivals
all
and
over
they are
regions.
visiting India for knowing
And
about
day
that
by day,
festival, that
used
how
to.
they are celebrating that festival, and also they are eager to learn new things about that culture of festival.
Also,
Set
also
to
if we talk about another other fields such as medical science or archaeologists, etc. Indian culture already have their uh, calculations or anything in Ayurvedas or like the distance between the sun and the earth is also already calculated in Vedas. Was calculated by I think it's,
Also, we have the histories of many people like Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj and
many evidence
that
are
no one
there.
has.
I'll come to your point later on. What was your first point? Like I would like to
We have the diversified environment.
no, that was
Also, we have the lots of festivals.
yeah, for the part of festivals. Like you said, there are Ganpati Visarjan, then there are so various kinds of
Lot
festivals.
of festivals.
But that's a good thing. I completely agree with it. Like it socializes people, brings people together. That's good. But my question is, do women are really safe in those environments? Can we really provide a safe environment and healthy environment for
Definitely,
We are
we are the
Definitely.
safest country right now. But thing is that criminal issue happen in India also. Criminal situation happen also Western culture.
But what I'm trying to say is, how do you deal with that criminal situation in West and in India is completely
Like
different.
in the festival didn't happen this thing.
We have the
Yes.
police protection, and
In all festive season is police protection
I don't
and
think
main.
so.
I think you guys should
You know
be a
that
bit more
they-
honest. Like, I think that's not really a safe place.
What are you really talking about?
Like, if someone comes, like I'll take your example. If someone comes with a Western dress into an Indian, like crowded place, would she really feel safe over there?
First thing is that we are the government is not allowed right now
Yes.
wearing the jeans and
In this festive season only. For.
Okay, so what was your point? Like,
about different fields.
Is medical science.
Yes.
okay, yeah,
There's Ayurveda
evidence.
and many more.
that's true. You like the example you told of trigonometry using calculating the perfect distance of sun and earth.
Pythagoras, it was invented in India.
Yeah, that's true. That was perfectly given example. But my question answer is that like that was done before them. But after all of those things, like the true mathematics was discovered later on. Then you know why did that happen? Because what we did was like we invented something first of all before the whole world did, and then we locked it. We said that this is the truth and this cannot be changed. But what science did was like it evolved. It evolved over time. It's still evolving, and that's why it surpassed Indian systems. So Indian science would have been superior if Indian culture would have allowed some changes into it.
It's not about allowing. Like I already told about the colonial period of Britishers. They were jealous about this that like example Pythagoras or
That
before Pythagoras we invented this. So for changing that they have introduced school systems and also like in another way, they have blocked India from sharing information or this education or this material to another world. Otherwise, for Pythagoras theorem, name Pythagoras is taken. Or if Britishers in history, Britishers didn't do that, then at this time, I think India will be the might be the superior country above all.
Okay. Firstly, I would like to counter your point. I completely agree with that. India is a diverse country, welcomes everyone. But we do have a disadvantage about that. India is a diverse country. We have different cultures, and we do casteism. Like people differentiate. He's superior. She's superior, or like we do casteism. Okay, so that diversity, because of the diversity, we have this casteism. While in Western countries, you won't see all of these things happening. They give equal chance to everyone. And secondly, I would like to highlight his point about he said like India is evolving, right? Something you said that
In past.
in past. Okay, we did many like discoveries, but if you look about the history, like the Western people have more advanced technologies, have developed more advanced technology. That microscope was discovered by Galileo Galilei. Because of that microscope, several discoveries were done. So some basic discoveries which were important for evolving of science, so these were done by Western people.
Yeah.
And why did they do? Indian people are also very much intelligent, I do agree about that, but what happens is in India we don't give them proper chance. That's why some people move to other countries, and other countries, Western countries, appreciate that, and they get evolved. They can use their skills. And secondly, I would like to talk about the education system. If you you should go and observe countries like Japan, China. What they do, the children there, they are like children are taught all the basic skills required. For example, they are taught like they serve food to everyone. They do cleaning of their school by own, so they teach them basic manners which Indian schools don't. They just promote rote learning. They would just focus on education. And you know, Indian people mentality is very like sick. They are like, you just have to study, you have to become an engineer and doctor. And they Indian people won't be supporting their children if they want to pursue career in another field.
Yes, I agree about
Okay, let me complete. If they want to pursue their career in another field, okay. While do in Western countries you won't see that. They will, and also in the studies they focus more on the practical learning, practical application. You can see the difference. And the most important point is Indian culture is good, actually good, but Indian people do lack civic sense. Even in Mahakumbh, like it was a very much pleasure we had that Mahakumbh. Even I went there. They did have very much facilities, but what about the civic sense? People are like, I saw someone, he ate that fruit or something and threw that, what we can say, instead of throwing that in the dustbin, he threw that plastic wrapper and that plate on that the ghat we were in. So this is the point, that Indian people do lack civic sense while Western people have them. If you see in the every case, like in crime rate, in education, like they are developed already, and India is still developing. Culture may plays a factor in that,
yes,
important
I agree
factor in
about the
that.
current situation. It's a fault of the government, but I was talking about around the colonial period. Before the colonial period, I was uh, talking about pre-colonial period where the schools were different. But after that, I also agree that nowadays Indian English is not so good, even not.
So as you said, the casteism. So I think all the peoples are don't support the casteism. Some peoples are trying to broke our unity and strength of our country by putting some tactics or putting some unusual things. So they are the reason for that casteism. All the people are not supporting that, and as you said that other countries are developed. So India is in the developing stage. They are trying to do things better. So
So I'm counter first your point. You say that Kumbh Mela have the eat fruit or so wrapped and put on there. You know many how many people in the come Kumbh Mela? 66 crore people and there.
more
In
than
more than 66 crore.
so to manage that crowd.
The
So
manage
you
that crowd
appreciate the
is it
management,
is.
but you do not
I'm
acknowledge
clear
the
my
fact.
point first.
Okay.
Okay. So 66 crore people and there, and Uttar Pradesh, his police officer and army are is covering of the crowd. Not how many crowd is 66 crore crowd is not come is the sorry the able to the able
Control
to
them.
control them. So that point.
Also,
But
it,
First thing is
they
that
tried
66
it
crore
best.
person is coming in one city. It is one population is your country.
What
It
I'm
is
trying to say is we are talking about culture. How did this debate even turn into
No, 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 no,
Mahakumbh?
no.
Let-
we say that we are just
That's
countering
point.
her point.
She's that.
because she's
She's
telling
take
we
your
are
point.
using
Kumbh Mela and wrapped on the
What
trash.
she was saying is the civic sense of people. What you're appreciating is the
same
management
thing
of
is
government.
happen if we are gathered together
also she
in a
said
one
that
city,
in India,
Yes.
not in a one country.
Only one
We are talking
city.
about
So
the
you
one
do
city.
acknowledge that Indians do not have civic sense.
No,
You do not acknowledge Indians do not have civic
no.
sense. So okay,
I
let's
agree
we are
with
opposing
your
that.
point. Yeah.
would you like
okay. So first of all, I was waiting for my chance because I at one point I was waiting for a long time.
Okay.
Okay, so my point was that when he was talking about science, he said that Indians invented it first. I'll tell you the difference between Western culture and discourse done in Western culture and Indian culture. The basic difference is that in Western culture, they would appreciate it. In Indian culture, they would feel proud about it. That's the basic difference. They will just feel proud that yeah, we did it. Now there's nothing else to do. They will appreciate it and they will move on and try to use it into their daily lives.
Yeah. So
If I want to counter the point about telescopes or etc., they have means Western people showed their discoveries, but
yes.
at the time of maybe it might be the chance that Indians already have discovered, but due to the colonial period, Britishers were jealous and they apparently destroyed all the evidences, or they have also burned a lot of evidence
Yes.
earlier.
And
So
many
it
more
might be the chance
evidence.
about research papers might be there, but it got.
You read Vedas. You read Atharva. Anything?
Did you read
Yes.
full?
Full name, small, small.
How much? Like,
Okay. Write 250 pages only.
okay, so what did
Okay.
you read in it?
So you read Atharva? Anyone? No. The first thing is you said telescope or microscope. You read Atharva, page number 63, point number 7. You read there.
Okay.
And then
What's okay?
his mythology, yes, historic or the, he only give one name of my, not my research. And when I tell a microscope is invited by me, it's not possible. You read that page, point number 7, and you understand on this so many year ago. Is find out and is write down in the that page and that point.
So what's the point? That's what we are asking.
Point is main point is use of telescope and making of telescope process in right in there.
So the whole process is written.
Whole
the
process right in
microscope is
there.
made.
But it's the fault of Indian people. Why didn't they appreciate the discoveries if
Before
they are already
appreciating,
discovered?
But
Because
They
after
have also delayed about because of
before
Britishers colony,
the independent
colonization.
period. So before
Honestly,
the
I would
independent
say
period of
before
India,
the aeroplane was discovered by Wright brothers, but it was not. It was discovered before, like the technology was discovered by an Indian scientist, or maybe. But what did Indian people do there? They just laughed at him. They mocked him. He can't do anything. A human cannot fly in the sky. But
but
they
I am
didn't
answering your
acknowledge
question.
they didn't
Okay, okay.
acknowledge their
Continue.
discoveries.
Complete
That's
your
why
point.
Indian people are not able to show what they have, the real talent. They were not able to shine because of
That's
Indian
the main
people's
reason.
mentality actually.
So what you are
Yes.
trying to say is the brilliance of our Indian mind and Indian culture are two different things. There have been brilliant minds throughout the centuries in India, like you said. I do agree with the fact that Pythagoras theorem, it was trigonometry was a part of Indian was before everything was else. So yeah, that's the thing. What I'm saying is there were brilliant people, but our culture didn't really accept them. They didn't really acknowledge them, and they didn't value them as much as they did many things. As much as they did.
So as he said about the civic sense, so all Indians have the civic sense, and like it refers to the social ethics and responsibilities. So as in the Western culture, the family is like if you are living in a family of four, like the mother, father, and you and your like husband. So there are the things like they get departed and they live uh, separately without their parents. So our Indian culture don't teach us that, and it also has the advantage that we live together in a family. We don't have a nuclear or separated family.
And
So
that's point
it has
80%
the
used in Western culture. Large scales
so
and large
they are
quantity.
separating and
They are separate.
quarreling with each other. Like
Or do
we
you
want to
want
get
to just
separated and we
after
wanted to
Yes, okay.
live
Please
separated.
continue your point.
Okay.
So continue.
So you see, that's a very protected society. Society is very protected society. It won't let you leave your home. It will just keep you inside their homes.
We
These
live
are the
together
joint
and
family.
we stand together with that person
That's
of
the
our family with sad moments also and with happy moments also.
you are not making them self-reliant. Western culture promotes self-reliance. They promote their kids
So
to.
are you saying that Indians are not self-reliant?
We are, but what I'm saying is that parents protect their children way more than they should be. They should give them some kind of independence.
Like Indians also have the independence of if someone wants to go out there and hang out, so they can do that.
No, our parents would stop us.
Huh.
How many?
I am agree with your point
Yeah.
totally. But not all over people at 100% into 70 or 80% are not his student and his child as block is offering the independent
Like
on
most of the families
yours.
don't restrict that thing.
Yes,
Only 10 to 5
only 10 to 5%
restricted.
family are restricted.
Maximum families restrict 10 to 5% don't
No.
restrict. That's the thing.
No,
But the
you
reason
should.
behind that is not the reason is not like you will get separated from the family like the Western culture and you will live.
They do not completely get separated. They don't forget their parents. They live with them. They are.
Also, I seen some cases they forget about everything about their
Yes,
parents and what they done for them. They live separated and they said that like do whatever you want.
But still,
yes,
still we're believing in right now in the feeling situations. The Western culture are people are going outside and staying together. It's called a living. Right now, our
yes.
Indian
That's
people
the point.
not allowed to do like this because they're following a culture right now. Yes, and those who are the Western peoples, they're going outside, they hang out outside, they
Also,
starting
they live together.
drugs, they
Live
starting
together.
cocaine, cigarettes, smoking. This has happened, but still, Indian people are not done like
They have that
done like
restrictions.
these situations. And I countered your point that civic science. Right now, we're talking about our civic science is zero, but still we generated too much money. I'm talking about the Dharavi right now. We are the smallest 2 kilometer area in a Dharavi, biggest Asia slum, but still we generated too much money from here. The multinational brands come here and manufacturing their bags, like a multinational company Zara, the Gucci's. They
We are
coming
just
here and the manufacturing is here in a
Manufacturing is in
Dharavi.
India and
Yes,
they are making
Dharavi.
lots
Yeah.
of money from us
They are
You
providing cheap labor. We are just selling
because
our
they
cheap
know
labor.
India is
manufacturing
the
is
diversified
here.
culture and
Manufacturing
Name
there,
is
not the
name
sale
is
only.
Zara is just name,
Zara, Gucci
but main manufacturing is in
is in India
Dharavi.
Yeah,
and they
in
also know that
Dharavi.
India has the diversified
It is just
network.
2 kilometer radius and the smallest, biggest slum
In
in
Asia.
Dharavi. Sorry, Asia.
You may be right, but you should check a fact. Like most cheap labor we can see is in China. They manufacture the bags like Gucci, Louis Vuitton. They do all the manufacturing process, and then these in doing a cheap labor, and all these bags and luxurious items are then labeled and given finishing touches in other countries, like in France or whatever country they have that brand. So the cheap labor thing you are talking about is in China mostly.
And what you're talking about in India is it is just low skilled laborers working somehow to survive. And like
But they are
civic sense is
making
not even
too much
connected.
But
money
also they
na,
are making money
right
So
now.
money
It
is
is not labor.
civic sense and money are not connected. You will find people coming out of their car and pee on walls. Like it's not
Yeah.
about money.
Money cannot buy class,
Yeah,
first of all.
it can.
it
Money
can,
can
but
buy
it
Can.
cannot buy civic
Money
sense.
cannot teach you
Money can
civic
buy.
sense. Money cannot buy class.
But I am saying that civic sense is the responsibilities and the social ethics that Western culture don't prefer too much, like the Indians.
As you say, your companies is coming in India, but say we are also giving them chance to come here.
Yeah, there are many
It's not
foreigners who are
a
working with
yeah.
our Indian MNCs.
As you said about Dharavi, there are many skilled peoples are there, and they are generating more revenue to our government, and they are contributing by their skills. As she said earlier, our Indian mentality is not that adaptive. They are not that protective towards their people. In China, the cheap labor are there, but they are living their life very in a proper manner. We can provide the Dharavi people a good life, a good protective life. They are not in that good stage. Maybe after 2 3 years, there will be not that skilled laborers over there. We should be more appreciate towards them. If this situation will be in China, if there were such skilled labor, the government should appreciate for them, and the government will give a stand for them, but Indian government is not in the
Yeah.
favor of that.
But they
Still
are
be
trying
believing
to.
in right now happy place
And
and
also
happy hours.
Dharavi people are not that adaptive to the policies, or they are not open to adopt the uh, culture behind that Dharavi space.
Yes, yes, I agree with your point, but this is a our Indian culture is happiest place. We can't able to go another place because if you are not happy, we cannot work. This is the happiest place. That's why we are working over
Yes, this
there.
is happiest place, but this is not good for their health. If you roam around that Dharavi area, you will not survive more than half or
Life
2 hours.
expectancy in Dharavi is 10 years
The
less than
same
on
So the
same thing
people
is
are
happen
trying to
also in
change their
South
life
Africa
by
also.
making
This is
money.
a Western culture. Same Dharavi is also really good. Have you seen ever the South Africa? They're staying in a gutter. You also staying in
Yeah,
a
the
their
places
son
are
will be
the
the
most worst places are in the South Africa, and also there are the places but I think Dharavi is the biggest slum in India. So, but the people are there trying to get their life better and making money for them.
So, as an Indian, you are not trying to improve yourself, but you are happy that you are at least better than African countries.
They are
Yes, that
trying.
sounds common.
We don't say that they are trying to
You
do
are
better
saying
in
like they
their
are
life.
living like that. We are at least living better than that. What's the point of
they
saying
don't
this?
want to go from out of their comfort zone because this is their comfort zone. If they get outside, they don't that much of
That is the
work.
point of Indian culture.
They
They
have the
don't want
potential, but they
to.
don't want to work hard.
They work together, no? They don't want to separate themselves.
Yes.
They work together. This is the Indian strongest like point. That's why we call the culture.
But we should adopt the good things from
Yeah, Dharavi is
other
also
people's.
good.
Yeah, I
People are
totally.
living over there.
But they are living a less, like as research, they are living a less, like
10
10
years.
years back than us.
Yeah, less 10 years. Their life expectancy is less by 10 years.
See, the generation is going up on up. But thing is that Dharavi is working right now. They're making money, and money is important. Not luxurious life is important, I know, but they don't want luxurious life, they want money.
But our topic is Indian
Okay,
culture versus
let's
Western
change the
culture.
switch the
What's
point.
like what Dharavi making more
Okay,
money?
let's change the
Yes.
point.
Okay, anyways, I
I
think you
just
should
wanted
speak
to
something.
prove that the Indian culture is not that open towards other cultures. They are more protective towards our culture.
We can't able to accept the Islamic dharma and Catholic dharma because we have a separate our
I
separated
am
bond.
not.
Nobody is asking you to
We are
change your
not.
religion. We are asking.
Yes, we are not talking about religions. We are talking about the ethics, the living style.
Okay.
Yeah, we are in
So-
good in right now in the living style.
Okay, you
So,
want to say
Stop.
something?
Yes.
No, you can go
We
ahead.
already mentioned everything. You can say that.
Yeah, you can again say that. It's fine.
So I'm to my point. Nidhi said the Indian people is not use your Veda and is many more thing after long year. Why can't you use their like telescope and many more thing and aeroplane okay? So what this? So first point is you know that after independence of India, is British is in their India and is
About trillions of money were looted by Britishers.
yes,
So that was the main
and his
disadvantage of India.
read all or information about Vedas and many more or history and they first use and then he use and his name is aeroplane find by me telescope find by
And
me and
about
19 and about many more researches his research all over India in Vedas in many more things and he used first and they Indian people are no is our research or our Vedas is no and British first used they
Like you want to say is that the things foreigner scientists discover that is already written in that Vedas
Vedas
by
and they
the
use first and
kings of that
after
time.
they use their Indian people are no is our research is our Vedas and many more things.
and
You know that
about the
point.
point, the fact that you said about Indians don't appreciate. That's true, but partially. Like due to colonial period, there was a time delayed. Means Indian was gone to backwards 10 years or 20 years back due to because Britishers looted a lot from India. So for stabilizing it, India needed time. So that's why India was a little backward. But
So
that's
that's his
not.
point.
Let's talk about day-to-day life advantages. We are like, first of all, Western countries have developed advanced technologies. For example, everyone must be using that online payment app like GPay and Paytm. It was like it is very easy. Like if you don't have cash, you can just use that anywhere. So it was developed. This app, like all this scheme, was developed by a foreigner, a Western man, woman, whatever it is.
I think
Like
so.
you
Yes.
can, you are using various technique, like in day to day life you are using technology developed by the Western countries. For example, you are the day you start with, anyone wants to drink juice, they will use that appliance. That all the technology, like mostly of the technology Indians are using, are developed by the Westerners. Like
And
we are
about
dependent on Westerners.
Yes, I am agreed to your point.
In fact, your
But
clothing
there
is
are the
right now
people.
Western.
No, no, no,
There are the
it's not
Indian
like that.
people who is sitting at the top of the foreign countries,
Okay, wait.
like the Google. The CEO of Google is Sundar Pichai. He is an
Exactly.
Indian.
I would agree that I earlier said that, but
Also, the people are
why
making
didn't
applications.
why didn't they do this in India? Why didn't they contribute to India? Because India didn't give them a proper chance. Western people appreciate our skills. Our skills are enhanced if we are doing work for the Western countries, and also they provide us employment opportunities to various Indian people. Like we have many Western companies, they provide employment to Indian people, so they are promoting employment opportunities in India.
we
They are
giving them
actually giving
chance.
you very much chances
We also
for
giving them
employment.
chance to come in India and establish your company
Also,
over
there
here
are
and
many
start
chances in
the.
India, but as it depends on their wish. Like they want to go abroad and make
Hmm.
something, or those who want to build an empire in India, they can also build it
And
in
Western
India,
culture also
national
use
India.
our technology, like Jio, Real, Reliance, and Ambani are main all over brands like fashion brands also use, and fashion brands,
We are
bags, and
talking
many
about
more
They're already
things.
using.
Yes,
we are talking about the technological. What does
and
technology
this
has?
is Indian culture in making
Reliance
jacket,
is an Indian
shirt,
internet,
pant,
right?
or clothing
He is not
sense.
saying about that.
Okay, I think we should conclude this debate right now.
Okay.
It's been like 11:53 now. Yeah, it's past 23 minutes. It closure time.
10:53.
So I think we should conclude it.
Okay.
Also, I want to say that, like you said, the civic sense that Indians does not have any civic sense. So, like in Western countries, the people are fighting with their parents and don't even ask like if they are eating something or having something. They don't
And
even ask their parents to do you have some do you want something or like that.
and
In
also
Indian
in
culture,
many of
1 minute. 1 minute. In Indian culture, at least the people in the family ask for that person that do you want to eat anything or do you want anything. Also, in Western culture, the people in their country like they have the appointment to meet their own fathers or mother.
Okay.
and
They also want the
also
appointment
like
to meet their
many of the
parents.
countries in western part law or what they government itself needed to impose law of parenting sorry that children should not live out the parent alone or they should help through financial conditions also they will need means that's not a condition that's it's means
Okay,
These
these
things
things,
happen in India as well. Like kids abandon their parents; they're just abandoned.
but we don't have to
Would you
take
like
the
to
appointment to
conclude?
meet our parents.
Yeah, I think we should just conclude. Like it
Okay.
will just go on forever.
Yes. Okay. So who will conclude?
I think he should conclude.
Okay, in
Go
the
ahead.
conclusion, the two teams debated onto this topic. I think we are on a common ground believing that Indian tradition values more on family values. It puts family first. And on the other hand, the people debating against it debated that just is more, Western culture is more open to other people. That's all.
Okay then. Thank you.
Thank you. Nice speaking to you.